Hey everybody, Mr. Berg here, and this is the Digital Mosaic Project Days 2 and 3. Here we go. So, to get started here, hopefully you guys made your circle mosaic for practice, and now we're going to get started with an actual project, which is where the fun starts to happen here. So what you're going to do, open up Google and go into your Drive. By using your Google Apps, go to your Drive and get back into Google Drawings. I always like to go here and go to More and Google Drawings, or some of you have maybe figured out you can actually just type in drawings.google up in your search bar and it should get you in there as well. But first thing I'm going to do is retitle this Digital Mosaic Final. Okay, perfect. All right, and now what I'm going to do is I've already, familiarized myself with my tools and everything here, my shape, my polyline tool, which we're going to use, and then my select arrow. First thing I'm going to do is choose an image that I want to create for my project. So I'm going to go up here to Insert Image. Now, if you want to use a photograph that is like maybe you took a picture on your phone or something, you can email that to your computer and go to Upload from Computer. Or you can just go to Insert Image and search the web. And I am going to do a picture of some soda cans. Here we go. Sweet. Let's go for something that has a few different colors. I do like those three. And wish I could choose one. Let's do the Fanta can. That looks nice. I'm going to click on it and then hit Insert, or I can just click and drag it right over into my canvas. Okay, there we go. Okay, there is my picture, and I'm going to close out my search. Now, one thing I like about this is there's a few different colors of orange. There's obviously greens and blues and white and yellow and everything, but there's also a few different colors of orange to show that this thing is a cylinder. I also like that it has some silver on top. So here we go. The next thing to do is to, I don't want to stretch it too much. I'm going to enlarge this guy a little bit here. Sweet, and don't worry if it goes off your canvas, because as long as that soda can is on your canvas, it is good to go. It's okay, because we are going to end up erasing the picture afterwards. Here we go. So I've got my picture there. I'm now going to go up here and I'm going to be using my polyline tool, and I'm going to start drawing in my shapes. Now, okay, and I want to zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to hold down Control and Alt with my left hand, and then press plus, which is with my right hand on the top right. Then I can kind of move myself around, or move my canvas around a little bit. Now, all I'm doing here, I'm on Polyline tool, is I'm going to, there we go, start to create my polygons. Now, when we did this with the, oops, I double clicked there, so create a line. Oops, if you do that, that's actually good that that happened. As long as it's selected, you can see it's kind of outlined in blue, you can just delete it. Okay, let's say you make a shape that you don't like. Oh rats, I don't like it. Just press delete as long as it's selected. Okay, so I'm going to come down in here and I'm just going to do this kind of streak of dark orange here, and I'm going to bring it up there and go close it off. Now, for right now, you can see that it's blue. I am going to want to change it to orange, so here's how we can do that. Go to your select arrow and so make sure your shape is selected, and then you see the paint bucket tool up here, fill color. Now, if you go, you can just choose orange, right? But that's not really the right orange here. So I'm going to go back into my paint tool and hit custom, and then I can kind of click and drag and create a little bit closer orange if I wanted to. It's really going to be up to you. Now I also want to turn off my border. So right now you can see that it has this black line around it. That's my border. I'm going to go up here to my border color and go to transparent. So that right now it's just this orange polygon, this orange shape. All right, I'm going to do a bunch of shapes here and kind of speed things up. So check this out. Okay, you've seen here, I just made 5 shapes total. They're all the same color orange. That's great. Now I want to do this kind of lighter, washed out white orange in here. So I'm going to tackle that next. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more just so you guys can see it a little bit better. And I'm going to create these, and you'll notice that I'm leaving a space in between all of my polygons or all my shapes. Now, that one right there, I want it to be much lighter. So I'm going to go back here and maybe choose one of these suggested colors and see how that looks. Okay. One thing that's nice about Google Drawings here is that it keeps my recent colors that I've used. So as I create those shapes, you can see down here, it's going to start to re-show the custom or the colors that I've used right up here. And anytime you create a custom color, it's just going to add it up into this menu bar up here. Pretty fun. All right, let's keep going here. Okay, I don't want to bore you too much with this, so I'm going to pause right there where I'm at and show you what I want to do now. So I'm going to zoom back out, Control, Alt, and minus. And then I'm going to go over to my select tool, and what we can see, I'm just selecting my image, you can see my mosaic shapes that I've created up here. And what I can do now, I'm selected the picture of the soda can, and I'm going to actually click and drag that out of the way a little bit so that I can see what I've done. And does it look like a soda can yet? No, it doesn't. But I'm pretty early on in the process. But it's going to be a cool design that I can create, okay? Now, here is a big tip. Don't try to move this picture back to where you just had it, because you're probably not going to get it exactly where you want it to go. Go over here to the top left corner and go to Undo. Press that back arrow. It'll move it back to where the picture was before you moved it. Okay? Or you can hold down Control and press Z. But it's good to every once in a while kind of check your progress as you're working your way through these things. Now, it doesn't really matter where you start on this. You just, if you get sick of doing orange, move to somewhere else. I'm going to go and do a little bit of detail on the top here, and then we will call it. Here we go. Okay, you can see I just did these 3 shapes up here. They all have that border once again. So here's what you can do. If you do a bunch of shapes that have the border on them, go to the select arrow, and then you can select multiple shapes by holding down the Shift key on your keyboard and then clicking on all the different shapes. So right now all 3 of those are selected. I'm going to make my border transparent, and then I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a silvery type color, but I'm going to be able to get a nice little gray there. So that looks decent for now, and then I can use the different grays and some really light grays, dark grays for the different parts of the cat. Once again, if you want to see how that looks, you can zoom back out and grab your picture, pull it off to the side, and hey, that kind of looks like a pop lid. Sweet. Put it back where I got it. Now, the nice thing about working in Google Drawings, you can see it saving automatically to my drive up here, so it's always going to be here when you need it. Okay, so this is kind of what you should be doing after you are done with your practice mosaic. So if you started that practice mosaic yesterday, then you should start with this today. If you didn't get to the practice mosaic yesterday, you should do that first, okay? And then you can get started on this. As far as what you can choose for your digital mosaic, I want you to choose something that you're interested in, something that you think is cool. It just has to be school appropriate. And it could be a photograph, like of your dog if you wanted to, or a family member, or I don't know, whatever. Okay, but choose something that's interesting. I think a project like this is one where if you just take the time to follow the process, you can end up creating a really cool piece of artwork. Okay, it does take a lot of time though. This can is probably going to take me 4 class periods to do, maybe more. We'll see how quickly I can work, but I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again next week and seeing your progress on this. So for today and tomorrow, days 2 and 3, get started on the mosaic and play around with the different shapes and the sizes and everything, and also using the different tools for selecting colors and customizing colors is kind of a fun thing to do as well. Okay, I think that was long enough. This has been a little bit too long. Sorry about that. That's it.